Good morning, students. Today we can continue the remaining portion of circulatory system chapter. Uh, Next section is about the neural and hormonal control of cardiac activity. How our heart's activity is controlled by nerves and also at the same time by the help of hormones. First is about the neural control. In the brain, there are certain centers for controlling the heart functions. Those centers are called cardio-regulatory centers. Regulation means there is some centers for accelerating the heartbeat and also for reducing the heartbeat. So, both type of centers are present in the brain. That centers we can call as cardio acceleratory center and cardio inhibitory center. Okay, so I am going to show you a image. With the help of that image, I will explain. This is the picture, and in this picture we can see in this circular area that pink color is the accelerating center and that light bluish color is the inhibitory center. For both the sides, these two centers are present. And next thing we need to understand are two types of nerves are there. Vagus nerve and sympathetic nerve. This yellow colored nerve is called vagus nerve and the orange color nerve is called sympathetic. And what the role of these nerves? The vagus nerve always inhibit the heart rate. The same time, the sympathetic nerve is this one, always accelerates the heartbeat. So in the figure itself, we can see that this is the sympathetic, it is going here and is going to this point. This is the cardio accelerating. Sympathetic nerve is connected with the cardio acceleratory center. At the same time, vagus nerve, we can see that it is going from this inhibitory side, it is going and supplying to the heart. These are the two main nerves that regulates the heart function, and these two nerves are then went to the medulla portion of the brain to the cardio regulatory center that present inside the medulla portion of brain. That's about the neural control. Then I think that you understand the main nerves that play important role in regulating the heartbeat. Which are the nerves? Once more I will tell. Vagus nerve and sympathetic nerve. Vagus nerve inhibit heart rate. Sympathetic accelerate. Okay. Then we can go back to our slide. So cardio regulatory centers. Centers we understand clearly what is that and what are the names innervating from that. About the cardio acceleratory center. This cardio acceleratory center, from that center sympathetic nerves are coming out and it is innervating and is supplying to the AV node, SA node, AV node and SA node. AV node, SA node, all those things we have already learned. And at the ending of this nerve means sympathetic nerve, it release a neurotransmitter. That neurotransmitter's name is called norepinephrine. And at the moment when the impulse from the sympathetic nerve reach at the point point a neurotransmitter substance is released. His name is norepinephrine. Then that norepinephrine accelerates the heartbeat. Then about cardio inhibitory center. Cardio inhibitory center, we need to speak about the vagus nerve, and that branch of vagus nerve comes to the region of SA node, and when it is stimulated, which is release another neurotransmitter that is called acetylcholine is released. There's a name, acetylcholine is released, and the role is it inhibits the heart rate. This is all about the neural control of heartbeat. I think it's very clear to you. Then we can go and see what about the hormonal control. Hormonal control, here we need to understand about the different types of hormones that play important role in controlling the heart rate. First is about adrenaline. Adrenal gland, we know where it's located. Adrenal as a in the form of a cap above the kidney. Okay, from the adrenal gland's medulla portion, this hormone is secreted. Adrenaline, its main role is to increase the heartbeat and to cause vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction means constricts the arteries. By constricting the arteries, it raises the BP inside the arteries, and also it plays important role in increasing the RBC count, rapid routing of the blood. Uh, in this point, I want to know how many have seen a movie named Irumukhan, starred by Vikram. Yeah, the main theme of that movie span around the role of this adrenaline in providing some additional energy for those women that inhaled a additional dose of adrenaline, and they meet some emergency situations with some extraordinary powers. If anybody didn't watch that movie, just go and watch that movie. Is the movie spanning around the main theme is pertaining about the role of adrenaline. Anyway, leave it. Adrenaline, as a hormone, it increases the heartbeat. As a heartbeat increase, we get more oxygen, we get more energy, and at the same moment, it is harmful also. If the heartbeat rate increases beyond a limit, it may lead to the total collapse of our heart. The thyroxine is another hormone and it also increases the heartbeat. Vasopressin is another hormone that also causes vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction means constricts the arteries. Constrict means arteries inside the blood vessel. The space is reduced by as a result of that pressure get steepens and high BP is the result. That's about the role of hormones. In this section, we only need to know about different types of hormones that play a role in regulating heartbeat and what the role they are playing. Then we are going to understand about common cardiovascular problems. Arteriosclerosis and atherosclerosis. In some portions before this section itself, I have slightly explained about these terms. I don't know whether anybody remembering about that. Anyway, I'll again repeat about arteriosclerosis and atherosclerosis. Arteriosclerosis means simply thickening and loss of elasticity of arterial wall. Arterial wall become thickened and as a result of thickening, it loses its elasticity. As a result, pressure inside will raises. That's a condition of arteriosclerosis. And atherosclerosis is a case of arteriosclerosis. Arteriosclerosisന്റെ ഒരു case ആണ്. It's a typical case of arteriosclerosis is atherosclerosis. What is happening in that case? Plaques of fatty deposits occurs on the walls of arteries. Fatty deposits get deposited on the walls of arteries. As a result, arterial wall gets thickens and which results in complete occlusion. Occlusion means blockage of the arterial wall. And if that happens in coronary artery, what will results? Cause angina pectoris, chest pain. Angina pectoris simply what is it? Chest pain. And in further critical condition, it may lead to heart attack. Next cardiovascular problem is myocardial infarction. In this way, it seems very strange to you, but if I tell it's another form, this is a heart attack, then we are all familiar with that term. We are oftenly hearing that among very youngsters also. Heart attack. Heart attack now becomes more a common reason for death. So what is the reason? Insufficient coronary blood flow is the reason for this myocardial infarction or simply heart attack. Coronary artery means those blood vessels that supplies blood to the heart. If insufficient blood flow is happened in that coronary artery, then it affects the heart muscles. Heart muscles will not function properly and results in heart attack. What are its causes? Atherosclerosis that I have explained here. Coronary thrombosis. Coronary thrombosis means a freely flowing clot. If a clot is happened in the coronary artery, these are the reasons for myocardial infarction. Next slide. Electrocardiogram is a very sure question for your exam or ECG. And the instrument that is used for taking ECG is called electrocardiograph. Don't get confused over this term. Graph, on hearing graph, you may think that it is the result that we obtained in the paper. Not like that. Graph is an instrument. And the result we obtain out of that instrument is called electrocardiogram, ECG. What is doing this instrument? It records the electrical activity of heart, means the impulse transmission across the conductive system of the heart. That is what is doing the electrocardiograph, that instrument that records ECG. What's the method used here? For taking ECG, doctor is fixing the electrodes on different sides of the heart externally over his chest. By connecting electrodes and giving suitable voltage across that electrodes, doctor can record the electrical events that happening in his heart, and the result is obtainable in the form of a wave on a paper. And the wave, this figure you must have to very correctly and neatly need to draw along with this question. And then about the verb, three types of verbs are present in this one ECG wave. And first one is P wave. This P wave indicates atrial depolarization. Atrium gets stimulated and it starts to contract. That stage is represented by P wave. And the next wave is called QRS wave, that indicates QRS wave. It indicates the ventricular depolarization. Ventricle get depolarized and start to contract and to pump blood. And T wave represents the ventricular repolarization. Again, ventricle is going back to its original condition. In ECG, the atrial repolarization is not usually recorded. And what's the application of ECG? If any defect happen to the heart, it may affect the impulse, and thereby it may cause some change in the shapes and timing of the waves. So by inspecting the time, the waves pattern, its duration, its intervals, doctor can understand the defects that happen to the heart to some extent. It's about the ECG. Next slide. So, treatment of heart problems. Main treatment is open heart surgery or bypass, that we have already heard from, or it's a common thing. And before a person to underwent an open heart surgery or a bypass, he's subjected to angiogram and angioplasty. So now we are going to understand about angiogram. Angiogram. What is angiogram? It is a medical imaging. Imaging of what? Inner side of blood vessels, mainly of arteries, veins, or those blood vessels supplying the heart chambers. What method we are using in this angiogram? We are injecting a radiopaque contrast agent. Some agents we are injecting into the blood vessel. Blood vessels, usual points of that blood vessel that we are selecting are that it will mention later. Okay, anyway, once more, the method is we are injecting a radio opaque contrast agent into the blood vessel, and we are observing, we are tracking that opaque agent using X-ray based technique like fluoroscopy, and we followed its path to see see the point of clot. That image that obtained out of this angiogram is called angiograph. And to understand about the process, a catheter is inserting into the blood vessel, and where blood vessel of which place we are selecting, maybe of femoral artery of groin region means a joining area, where a joining area of two legs that we know, or the in the blood vessel that found just above the elbow. These 2 points, blood vessel present in these 2 points are usually selected to inserting a catheter. Catheter means what? Catheter means a narrow tube, and that catheter is passed to the area where we need to study, where we are supposed to, we are think that a clot is present. Up to that area, we are guiding that catheter, and then a iodine dye is injected. Iodine dye. Why we are injecting the iodine dye? To visualize that clot in a screen, computer screen. And after visualizing that clot, we can then proceed to the next procedure to remove that clot from that point. That's about angiogram. Angiogram, so it's only just imaging where that clot is present. Understand? After this section, I will show a video about that. Then angioplasty. Angioplasty means we need to remove that clot. And first we imaged, where we found its location. Then we are going to remove that clot through angioplasty. In this, we open that, remove that block before the vessel get completely occluded. What's the process? Similar to this process, along with the catheter, a balloon also attached at the tip of that catheter. This inserting catheter's diameter is 1 millimeter, and this pass to the coronary system under the radiographic guidance. Means we can observe the path movement of that catheter using a screen. In a screen we can see how the movement of that catheter up to where it have reached. All those things we can visualize in a screen by sitting outside. And when that balloon tipped catheter reaches at the point of the block, the balloon is inflating. Inflating means, I think you know, inflation means വീർപ്പിക്കും. And that inflation causes the stretching of the blood vessel where that clot is present. That stretching will facilitate the easy flow of blood, and along with that clot also moves away. That is the angioplasty. If that person does not survive, if the clot doesn't move in the process of angioplasty, then that person is then referred to underwent a bypass surgery. So next we are going to see a video about this angiogram and angioplasty.
Coronary angioplasty, also called as the percutaneous transluminal or balloon angioplasty, is a treatment procedure to restore the blood flow in the narrowed or blocked coronary arteries caused due to plaques or blood clots. Most coronary angioplasty procedures last between 30 minutes to 3 hours. Once the patient is admitted, his heart is monitored and is given an intravenous sedative to relax the body. A needle is inserted through the wrist into the radial artery. A guard wire is then passed through the needle and is guided through the arterial system up to the heart. A flexible
So the catheter is passing up to the point where we are suspecting that clot is present.
The catheter is slipped over the wire and threaded up to the heart. This is monitored using a continuous X-ray imaging device called fluoroscope. At this point, the guard wire is removed and the tip of catheter is positioned to enter the coronary artery. A special dye is injected which
when the catheter reached at the point where we are suspecting the clot is present, then that dye is injecting, and because of the help of the dye, we can very clearly visualize. Here itself, it's very clear that we can see a clot here. And after visualizing, then doctor is moving to the angioplasty. And up to here, that visualization is called an angiogram. Okay.
allows the fluoroscope to take X-ray images of the arterial interiors and help in identifying the position of the block. This is called angiogram. Once the blockage is identified, a flexible guard wire is in.
Next is telling about the angioplasty, catheter with the balloon tip, and its inflation, how that clot is removing.
Inserted into the artery vessel, followed by a balloon-tipped catheter over this wire to position itself at the site of the blockage. Rapid inflation and deflation of the small balloon pushes the vessel wall out, re-establishing the flow of blood in the artery. After the blocked vessel is reopened, the deflated balloon catheter is withdrawn from the artery. The same treatment procedure is repeated in the case of multiple blockages. Most patients may also receive a coronary stent, which is a small tube made of wire mesh designed to keep the artery.
Sometimes permanently a wire mesh is installed over this area where the clot is formed. Is usually done to prevent further blockage, prevent the formation of further blockage or clot at the same point. Because here that stent is permanently fixed over this area, so we can see that.
Open once it has been treated. A collapsed stent is placed over the deflated balloon catheter as it is inserted into position. When the balloon is inflated, the stent expands and locks itself into place. The deflated balloon and catheter are withdrawn, leaving the stent behind to hold the artery open permanently. Post-treatment, a pressure bandage is applied over the radial artery to prevent bleeding. One will need to lie down for several hours, during which signs of bleeding or chest pain will be monitored. The patient may either be discharged on the same day or after an overnight stay at the hospital.
With this, we finish today's section. Thank you.